Hypertension practice. For those of you that were unable to meet in person or who would just like an additional practice, I always like to offer at the beginning of my videos the reminder that I do have cats. They will float in and out of the videos and often do. I have some music playing close to the camera, but feel free to find music that works for you and play it a little bit louder. And as always, just meeting your body wherever it is today, letting your practice reflect that. So this will be a restorative style practice. I have a small throw blanket. You can get creative if you would rather use something like a towel. I'm on a mat. If you're on a hard surface floor and want to use a couple of mats or a towel, those are nice options too. You could also use a blanket for a mat. I have a pillow from my sofa, or if you have a bolster at home, we'll use bolsters in the studio. I have a block. Lots of ways to replicate a block is a heavy book or just something that is similar to this in size. Lots of us have decorative materials that are close to that. And lastly, I also have an eye pillow. If you don't have an eye pillow at home, a small washcloth can work in the same way. And some of us don't like to have our eyes covered. So it's not a requirement. None of them are. They're just options. So as we start to settle in to our practice, just take a moment to get comfortable. We're going to do a brief, short little meditation here. Our focus today is our root chakra, our Muladhara chakra. So if you're comfortable sitting against the wall, or you want to use any of your props to sit on, or if you're more comfortable lying down, that's fine as well. Make sure that you're comfortable. And we're going to come into our Anjali Mudra. So we just bring our hands in what a lot of people call the prayer position. Closing the eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. And from this position, start to think about the base of the spine, the pelvic floor, and the first three vertebrae. This chakra is comprised of whatever grounds you or stabilizes you. This includes basic needs such as food, water, shelter, and safety, as well as those more emotional needs, like letting go of fear. When these needs are met, we feel grounded and safe, and we tend to worry less from day to day. As you move into the practice, begin to set an intention. Some common themes in this chakra are releasing fear, trusting yourself, finding a healthy flow between activation and rest, believing that you deserve this for yourself, and perhaps letting go of resentment. And from this position, we will lie down. There will be times I won't be doing the same thing in the video as I've cued you, just because I am continuing to read meditations as well. But go ahead and lie down comfortably. And that might mean that we are using that blanket or that pillow to lie more comfortably. And if you're in your home and you'd rather lie on your bed or on a couch or somewhere like that, feel free to do so. We want to be fully relaxed during this practice. So take a moment to notice the shoulders. Notice that connection to the earth. Let the body feel heavy and relaxed. And then we can choose to stay in this stillness, or if we need a little more energy, we can walk the feet in and just simply rock the knees from side to side, finding a supine windshield wiper. knowing we can pause at any time. We can come back into stillness. And then if we are adding movement, the next time the legs are towards the left, go ahead and offer them support. Maybe that's support of the floor. Maybe we use a prop or props, the block, the pillow, lots of options. Props simply bring the ground closer to the body. And then we'll move this twist to the other side. I always like to invite the support of the hand into that outer leg, gently drawing it back to center. Taking a moment or two to find that pause at the top. Notice where your hips and shoulders are, trying to find balance. And then we'll let the legs fall the opposite direction. Again, perhaps we use props or extra support. On our inhale, again, we offer the support of our hands as we draw the legs back to center. Find that realignment. And then if it feels okay, we gently draw the knees towards the chest. They might not move very far. They might come in a little closer. We're just going to rock for a moment. And then gradually make our way to one side so we can press up. So from here, we're going to make our way into a belly press pose. So we're just creating that extra energy and awareness in the belly. And again, if you prefer to lie on something soft, such as a couch or a large blanket or your bed, feel free to do so. You'll still get the same benefit here. I'm going to use the pillow that I have for my belly, and then I'm going to keep my blanket close by to support my head and my chest. Those are always optional. You can make your press position a little bit higher by stacking props if that feels better for you. We'll go ahead and just turn so we're facing our mat, letting our belly be slightly lifted, and this also invites a release through our lower back. As we let the upper body melt down, perhaps you want to tuck the blanket under the chest or the head. If you want to rest so your forehead is on the floor, or you can let one cheek face the side. Go ahead and get comfortable. I am actually going to sit back up. I have a short little meditation I'll go through. But if you are resting on one cheek, I'll cue you when we're about halfway through. You can make that adjustment if you'd like. So once you're settled in, take a moment to close your eyes and feel the earth beneath you. Feel your body touching the ground, and maybe even sensing an exchange happening as your body presses into the earth and the earth presses back against the body. Feel how the earth supports you. Take a deep breath in, hopefully through the nose. And as you exhale, let out a long exhale. Feel yourself releasing into the ground. So if you would like to make any subtle changes here, we're about halfway through the belly press. We can turn the toes in a different direction. We can turn the head so we're facing a different direction. Taking another deep, full breath in. As you exhale, feel that release of energy, surrendering to the earth. As you surrender to that downward current of energy, notice that in response, the spine feels lighter. The back of the legs, the back of the neck, the shoulders. Feel that gentle release and letting go. And from this position, go ahead and bring our hands under our shoulders to offer us support. And we'll gently press up. We're going to come all the way back into a supported child's pose. This is just a counter stretch. And I would like to invite you to grab your block or whatever you're using in place of a block, or you could even use your fist or fist just to create something that you can rest your forehead on. So as always, this is optional. If it doesn't feel great for you, we can leave it out. Feeling that connection between the forehead and the ground. We can walk our arms long. We can let them support us close by. And again, as we press ourselves up, we'll bring the hands under the shoulders, offering that support to come back up. From here, we are going to start to make our way back to a supine position, and we will stay there. So if you've noticed that maybe you're not warm enough, you want to add another layer, grab your socks. I would like you to take your blood pressure when you're done, so if you don't have your cuff, this is a good time to grab it as well. You don't need to put it on yet, but go ahead and just have it nearby. We're going to make our way to our backs, and as we know that we'll be there for a bit, we can come into a place where we feel more supported. So perhaps we use the blanket or the pillow or anything else that feels good. So as you settle in, we're going to walk the feet in a little bit closer to start, and then gently raise one leg and then the other. Think about letting the legs just kind of hover over the hips And then when you're ready, we are going to cross our right leg over our left. This will be a supine version of our eagle pose. So as that right leg crosses over, because we're doing a restorative style, we're just going to let the feet fall in opposite directions. And then we can make decisions. The feet can release to that gravity, melting closer to the body. We can wrap our hands around our thighs, our shins, maybe reach for our ankles. And again, as we settle into the earth, invite the shoulders to melt. Invite the breath to soften. Perhaps closing the eyes, maybe using your washcloth or eye pillow for a little added relaxation. We'll extend our legs gently to come out of the pose. And sometimes movement feels good when we've been in the same position for a bit. So when you're ready, we'll switch legs. So we'll cross left leg over right, let the feet fall opposite directions, and then start to explore. Decide what feels the best for you in this space. When you're ready, we gently release the legs, move them around a bit. And then we can come into a gentle ball for just a moment, just a chance to come out of the pose. From here, we'll find our way to a restorative bridge. So we let the feet come down one at a time, and then grabbing your prop or props that you would like to use here. So the blanket or pillow could make a really nice restorative bridge.
I'm going to grab my block. It has a few different ways. I'm going to keep it just kind of on its lowest setting. If you have a book or books that you want to use or something else that works, feel free to grab it. We simply press into the feet, and as we lift, we just slide that support under our sacrum. Sometimes we need to separate some of those fleshy areas there. And then we'll settle in. So once you establish what's the most comfortable position for you, you can offer your hands support. You can rest them in the belly, let them come down to the side, maybe palms facing up. We can keep our legs in just like they are, or we have the option of walking the legs out, maybe one at a time, just a little bit to start. Decide where we'd like them to go. So once we have our physical body in place, we're going to focus on our easy breath. And that breath is what we practiced individually. It's where we simply inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. I think this is a great breath practice that you could do every day. So we'll do 2 or 3 minutes of it here. You can just count it on your own. And again, like I said, we'll inhale for a count of 5 and exhale for that count of 5. So go ahead and begin when you're ready. And we'll finish this pose with that breath practice. Let's finish with 2 more rounds. And then let your breath ease into a comfortable pace.
The last pose we are going to practice is our restorative butterfly. You should still be in your restorative bridge. So I'll have you lift slightly so you can bring your prop out. Set it to the side. And there's a lot of ways to practice restorative butterfly as well. If you'd like a prop under your low back, you can. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together to start and let my knees gently fall apart. So as gravity draws the knees to the earth and opens the hips, it can feel nice to offer some support so it's not as intense of a stretch. So maybe you slide your blanket under one hip or thigh or knee. And maybe you use your block or your pillow for the other one. And if you look down and notice that one knee seems a little higher than the other, that's perfectly fine as well. Sometimes we have imbalances. And as you feel comfortable here, you may notice that as we lie for a little bit in this pose, we start to feel a little more space through those hips, and we want to adjust our props. And that's totally fine. Again, let your hands rest wherever you feel the most comfortable. And this is the last pose of our practice. So I invite you to adopt a mantra here. Perhaps you set an intention early on, but some mantras that go well with this root chakra are: I am safe, I feel grounded, I am stable. Perhaps you have another mantra that really speaks to you today. So feel free to invite that in as we take a few moments in this last pose. So from here, we will prepare for our Savasana, for our final relaxation. I'm going to sit up. You are welcome to stay in that restorative butterfly. You're welcome to return to any poses that we have already practiced, or to be creative with your props. to press pause and to go settle in a spot that is more comfortable for you. I do ask, just to make it easier, if you'd like to put your blood pressure cuff on now. Then as soon as you finish your practice, you can go ahead and measure your blood pressure. Feel free to pause, get comfortable, and then press play. This last bit will simply be me speaking, so you don't have to have the screen where you can see it. And then when you are ready, closing the eyes, maybe using that eye pillow or washcloth, and take a long, deep breath. With your exhale, begin to move your attention to the base of the spine. Imagine a red light glowing brightly there. That warm red glow calms you. You feel serene and safe. You feel grounded and unshakable, like a huge boulder cradled by the earth. Imagine standing at the base of a snow-capped mountain that rises high into the sky. In front of you is a large opening to a cave. You see red flowers growing at the mouth of the cave. The flowers sway in the gentle breeze and reflect the warm sunlight that's falling on them. The rays of the sun streaking in invite you to enter the cave. You step forward and go inside. You notice the cave has smooth walls and a high ceiling. You notice a warm, gentle breeze. And you notice it makes you feel cozy and comfortable. You walk a little bit further. You notice your surroundings. As you move along the path, you see an opening, and you come into a large, almost circular room with a big stone lying in the middle. There's a gentle beam of light slipping through a small crack in the ceiling. It bathes the stone with a warm glow. You walk over to the stone and sit on it. You're sitting in a way that feels effortless to you. You begin to feel a part of the mountain. You feel deeply anchored and rooted to the earth. You feel safe. You feel the earth supporting and nourishing your entire being. Now you see the red light wash over you and move into every cell, every pore in your body. Feel energy funneling down to the base of the spine. Rest in this awareness. When you're ready, you gently rise from the stone and begin to walk out of the room. You walk through the passageway to the outside of the cave. You turn to look back at the mountain and you feel one with it. When you are ready, take a long inhale and a full deep exhale. And then before you find too much movement, I invite you to go ahead and start your blood pressure monitor. Go ahead and get that measurement while you're still in a state of deep relaxation. And take as long as you would like here. And then when you're ready, coming back to the present and enjoying your day. Namaste.